Hello guys, today we are going to be diagnosing the death and return of Superman for the Super Nintendo. I want to start off by saying that this game was made by Blizzard. Yes, the same company that made World of Warcraft, Diablo, and Overwatch. Right off the bat, this game is very dark and gritty, by having Superman's bloody symbol with Doomsday's fist smashing right through it. The game starts off with the Underworlders destroying a power plant and trying to take over the city until Superman comes in to save the day. When you start the game, you notice how nice and big the sprites look. Superman looks amazing. The majestic cape, the chiseled chin, the amazing pecs, those rock hard abs, and that big long yeah. Anyways, in comparison, the enemies are some goat demons, a metal sand shrew, and the hunchback packing heat. We beat the boss, which is another hideous creature, and we find out that Doomsday is wreaking havoc in the city. We walk through the city and we beat a bunch of punks along the way, for some reason, until we find Doomsday. However, instead of defeating Doomsday, he gets back up and we both knock each other out. And that, my friend, is the death of Superman. News appeared that there have been sightings of different Supermans in the world. Cyborg Superman, Superboy, literally the Man of Steel, and Fire Hand Superman? The cool part? We get to play as all of them. We start off with Cyborg Superman flying, and this will be a good time to talk about the different sections of the game. We have a flying section, which is basically a mediocre shoot 'em up. The other section is the beat 'em up, which is 90% of the game. It has the basic beat 'em up controls of punching, being able to throw enemies, and a screen clearing move. But you also have a beam attack for range and the ability to fly, which is awesome. The sound effect of hitting enemies is so good. Although my biggest complaint comes here from the combat. For some reason, you can only hit one enemy at a time. The enemy comes in waves of 2 or more, making it hard not to get hit by them when you're only able to focus on one at a time. The enemies also have this amazing zoning game, where they always move into a position where you can't hit them, but they can hit you. I always felt tense when fighting since the enemies are always on top of you, not letting you do anything. Also, there's no invisibility frames. The end of the level comes when we fight a Sentinel? I really should not have expected much from a stage where the 2 main enemies are spandex wearing guys called Elite and Defender. We defeat the Sentinel and find Doomsday, who Cyborg just throws into space. I wish I can solve all my problems that way. Fuck olives. We transition to Firehand Superman and we keep on beating the punks of Metropolis because reasons. But that won't stop us from showing no mercy as we break all of their backs. We find the Man of Steel and we have a showdown. Firehand Superman threatens the Man of Steel with his power, but he replies by saying it takes more than power to be Superman. It takes compassion and humanity. I can see why he was saying that. Out of nowhere, a spaceship is over Coast City and the city is gone. This prompts Firehand Superman into action, where we find old, new, and newish enemy? They just changed the color and names. This guy went from Defender to Destroyer. We find Cyborg Superman and fight him, where we lose against him. He says that he defeated the Eradicator and Superboy is next. Wait, this guy is called the Eradicator? Firehand Superman? This guy sounds more like a villain than a hero. Might explain why he was breaking so many backs. Now we play as the hip young Superboy, beating on more punks. I'm starting to feel bad for these guys. And when we beat all the punks, Superboy goes to Coast City. I want to talk about how combat in this game becomes very repetitive. Well, it did for me. Every time I move to a screen with more enemies, I always grab them and throw them to the wall. Sorry punk guys. It's the only way to get the 3 available items in this game, which recover health, gives you more special moves, and more lives. These bosses also become repetitive, as they could interrupt you mid-combo and you take more damage than you deal. When I was younger, I used to just throw lives at them until I beat them. In the end, Superboy loses to Cyborg, who holds him captive, while telling him of his plans to create another city above Metropolis. Meanwhile, in the North Pole, there is a twinkle of light. Superboy escapes and now another Superman appears. This time we play as the Man of Steel, who uses a sledgehammer. Here the game becomes brutally hard. Don't get me wrong, this game is hard in general. Cyborg Man launches a missile into the city and Superboy goes to the rescue. The Man of Steel goes into the flying city's core to destroy it instead of the new Superman, since it's powered by kryptonite. This section is the worst part in the game. You're basically dodging hazards with your huge ass character. There's shit everywhere! And we fight a Metalface at the end. The Eradicator comes from the North Pole and fuses with the new Superman to become the original Superman. I won't lie, I lost track of the story a while ago. This game implies heavily that you already know the story of the death and return of Superman. Now the game goes into overdrive where enemies always coming out in pairs of 3, with the boss being able to use a screen clearing move. Once you defeat Cyborg Man, he explodes, and Superboy and the Man of Steel recognize you as the real Superman. The game ends with Superman recalling his wacky crazy day of death and resurrection. In conclusion, this game could have been an amazing beat 'em up. It's a fun beat 'em up nonetheless, but only being able to hit one enemy at a time with combos and having such a high difficulty detracts from the fun by making you cheese the game by using the same tactics over and over. The flying stages could be overlooked since they're super short, except for the one with the Man of Steel. It's disappointing to think this might be the best game for the most iconic superhero ever. He deserves so much better than this. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments down below or on Twitter or anywhere else on the internet. Also, let me know what game you want the diagnosis treatment on. And as always, my lovely patient, thank you guys for watching and tune in next time.